welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective, and today we are going to be reviewing Love and Marriage DC. But before we get into the review, I've got a couple housekeeping items that I'd like to cover with you. Number one, we are a growing channel, so I'm always going to invite you to subscribe. I have a goal of me getting to 500 subscribers within the next few months, and Lord willing, it's big to me, okay? So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Definitely make sure that you like the video and also get down in the comments and let me know what you think about the show and my commentary. Outside of that, also check out Really BTV. She and I typically do a rant and review, or have done a rant and review in the last couple weeks. We've had some scheduling conflicts, but she definitely has some content about Love and Marriage DC as well. And also check out Shayna McD, I think is how you pronounce it. She does a lot of Potomac, so Real Housewives of Potomac, Married at First Sight, Sisters. She does other content as well. Check out her channel. We are Black girls. We follow each other. We support each other, and that's how we're going to do things over on this channel. Okay, we're a community, not a competition. We are in communion, okay, not in competition. That's how we roll over here. So without further ado, let's get into the review. So because I haven't ranted and reviewed on this show, technically officially on my channel, I do watch the show, and so I'll just give you a piece. I'm gonna reach back, okay, into the past real quick from a previous episode, and then we'll bring into the newest episode. So this is season 2, episode 5, entitled Street Fighters. I cackled a little bit, just a bit, because that was funny. Back from the previous episode, Joy and Erana have a sit-down conversation, and Joy basically talks about how she and Black, who is Sherrell, who is a newest cast member on the show, sits down with Erana and talks about the group called Mambo Sauce, which is a go-go band, which was a go-go band in the DC area, and that Black put everything together, but he tore the band apart with his manipulation tactics, his selfish decision making. Apparently he was fooling around with Sherrell on Joy's best friend. There's a lot of messy, shady things going on. Notice that I use the word shady, okay? Now, in true reality TV show fashion, Erana is going to be the bone collector. Now, this is interesting. I didn't see her being that type of person, but if she's trying to secure her spot, I guess this is what she has to do. This episode, that is brought to Sherrell. Actually, even in the past episode, it's brought to Sherrell, and we're discussing it, and we're talking about the fallout for that, okay? So the show opens up where Brittany and little Jamie are, first of all, Brittany looked exactly like her mama. It's a spitting image of her mother, okay? So little Jamie sitting in the living room, they're having a conversation, they're talking about everything. Next thing you know, the doorbell rings. Now, all sense of the word have an intervention with little Jamie. They're telling him, listen, you're not where you're supposed to be at 26 years old. We worry about you. We're concerned about you. There are a lot of things that are going on, and we need to know that you're going to be okay. When you get upset with us, you tell us that you text your mom and you tell your mom that you don't think that you should be here anymore. And we're concerned. We want better for you, but you have to want it more than we want it for yourself. Big Jamie finally admits and says, I know that as a father that I have played a role in getting you into the place that you are right now. I know that I've played a role, and I probably have not handled you in the way that you need to be handled. He finally admits and takes accountability. Girl, I think everybody in that room was like, praise God, thank you, Jesus, okay? Or I'm sorry, little Jamie. Twofold. First thing, I was like, yes, Big Jamie, thank you for taking accountability. But also, with little Jamie, you are 26 years old. You cannot make all these horrible decisions with your life and then be upset at the mess that you're in right now, currently. A response to everybody, he said that he feels overwhelmed. He feels like They're ganging up on him. He's the problem child, XYZ. And I'm thinking, self-pity is your defense mechanism. Again, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know. But I feel like instead of actually dealing with the problem, actually taking accountability and really owning, yes, I've made so many mistakes and this is where I am. And so in order for me to pick up the pieces, because this is where I am based off my own mistakes, I would much rather wallow in self-pity. So here he goes, starts to turn and say, you guys, I'm the bad child. I'm the one that, everybody's got a problem with. Maybe I should just go away. Maybe I should, instead of owning it, because maybe that's too hard for him. Maybe that's too difficult for him to own it. Maybe that's the problem. But he needs to own it first. Your parents helped you get there. They enabled you. But at the end of the day, you are 26 years old. You are not where you should be or a typical 26-year-old would be. And I'm not saying that there's a blueprint, but I'm saying that you should be at least a little self-sufficient at the age of 26 years old. You're knocking on 30's door quite soon. You need to gather yourself. Your parents aren't going to be there to save you all the time. You need to be able to be self-sufficient. Big Jamie, and I really appreciated this because I was like, there at this point, y'all are going to have to let him loose. Y'all are not going to be able to keep this relationship that you currently have with your son is unsustainable. It's clearly causing a strain on both ends. So something is going to have to break. And honestly, I always felt like Big Jamie and Erana, you're going to really need to go forth. And when I say cut off, I don't mean saying not talk to him. I'm not saying not call and check on him and see how he's doing, but I'm saying not extending yourself in the way that you do. Whatever decision he decides to make, that's on him. And you guys are going to have to sit and watch him crash and burn, unfortunately, if that's the decisions that he makes, because he can't keep pointing the finger at you and wallowing in self-pity and then spiraling and then continue to making the same decisions, and y'all, it's just this roller coaster that continues to unfold on itself. A psychologist, I'm not trying to diagnose him, but it just seems like he's not trying to take accountability, and in order to not take accountability, he wallows in self-pity in order to avoid it, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're moving on from there. But before I do, I'm going to say the last thing I'm so proud of Big Jamie for saying, because this is where I was trying to go. Y'all know I'm long-winded. He said that, listen, if you decide to not go to therapy, I want to go to therapy with you. We need to get a professional into this relationship because neither one of us has the answers. I'm not doing the right thing, and you're not doing the right thing either. Let's get a professional in. Let's talk to somebody who we can relate to, who can help us find some tools to navigate our relationship. And I'm all for that. I'm like, Big Jamie, baby, let me tell you something. You gained points because I was side-eyeing the shit to him. Hey, if you decide to go to counseling, we'll work it out. You'll still be able to maintain what you have. You can have the job that I've given you, and then I'll keep kicking you some money on the side. If you decide that you do not want to go to counseling, you are not going to be able to live in my house. And I said, I know that's right. Now, that is how you do things. I'm offering you a solution. It's your decision to decide. If you don't, you got to go on, okay? That's when little Jamie's, you guys make me feel like I'm the bad child, a problem child. I don't need no psychiatrist. You do. You need help. Okay, you got caviar wishes on a champagne budget, boo. Like, what are you asking? You asking for a lot. Ultimately, he ends up deciding that he is gonna go. They go to counseling, and it was such a beautiful thing. I almost, wanted to start crying. I was happy to see them sit down and talk to somebody that looked like them, who could relate to them, who could be a potential outlet for little Jamie to be able to talk about, actually address the real reasons why he was getting into trouble and all the things that he's done up to this point. and it not being his father. Because obviously, you know, sometimes talking to your parents isn't the easiest thing to do. Even if you have loving and understanding parents, sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do. Winter is having a romancipation event. Divorce party, basically, is what she said. I don't like Winter. She throws the rock and hides her hand. It's annoying. Her personality is annoying. I'm just not here for her at all. Not here for her at all. So she has Sherrell meet her at Air, which is a black-owned restaurant that's in Adams Morgan in DC. I had no idea that it was black-owned. I had gone to the zoo one day, and I was just like, oh, it's over in that area. And I was like, oh, okay, this is cute. But I didn't know that it was black-owned. I would have probably gone in had I known that. So she invites Sherrell to come over to the party. I'm sorry, she invites Sherrell over to Air to talk about the romancipation event. And she says, you know, Sherrell's probably going to have a cow when I ask her what I really want her to do. And basically, she wants her to invite the football team. Now, Winter, how are you supposed to extend the hand of friendship to these women when you're insulting them and calling them a football team? I don't like Winter. She can go. I guess she's playing the villain. Fine. Fine. Quick is getting honored. He is going to be honored on the street that he grew up on. It's going to be called Quick Civil Way, which is pretty cool. It's in Baltimore. I hardly go to Baltimore. Baltimore's like 45 minutes away. I only went to Baltimore like maybe once to pick up my uncle when he came to visit me. And the BWI was the only airport that he was able to fly into at the time. So that's the only reason why I went to Baltimore. And baby, I did not get out of my car. I just went and picked him up from BWI and came right on back. So I don't know. Picked him up and dropped him off. So that's the extent of my Baltimorean, if that's even how you say it, experience. I may get some more Baltimore experience, but I don't really. It's 45 minutes away. And it's already a lot. Anyway, I'm complaining. Let's move on. Ashley and Quick sit down and have a conversation. They're talking about how Antonio, which is Quick and Ashley's son, ended up getting suspended, and she didn't tell Quick. And I'm like, Ashley, are you kidding me? Girl, the boy got suspended for school, going through somebody's book bag because I guess apparently the other student stole his jacket and put it in his bag. I'm with Quick. That's major information that you really needed to be telling. So, Ashley, I agree with Quick. I didn't think that you should not tell your husband about his son and being suspended. Joy and Sherrell actually sit down and have a conversation. In the beginning of the episode, or the beginning of this video, I told you that Erana went back and told Sherrell exactly what Joy said. She paraphrased it, used the word shady. So they're sitting down at a restaurant. Joy is saying that this is super awkward. She doesn't want to be here, but this is where she's at. Black is married to Sherrell. So Black is the person that Joy has the actual issue with. But because Sherrell is married to Black, what woman's not going to defend her husband? So if you got to beef with my husband, you got to beef with me forever.
A girl have beef with me, she gonna have beef with me forever.
You know? So Joy sits down and they're like, you know, it's very awkward. I didn't expect to come sit down here. You know, what was said. You know, this is what Erana said. Erana told me that you said that my husband was shady, and what was the problem? And Joy basically says, I never used the word shady. And I'm so glad, so glad that Erana pulled out the dictionary and said, listen, this is what shady means. I summarized what Joy said. And so if you're going to have a problem with anybody, you need to have a problem with Joy, because she literally summarized it. And so Joy, I see you, girl. I see you. I don't like you. I still don't like you. This is where you had the moment to say, I may not have used the word shade. I don't even know why she even didn't just own it. Why didn't she own that? Why didn't she just say, yes? Because she used words that were worse than shady. And you're denying shady? You're denying I never said shady. But girl, you use words worse than shady. You said you don't like to use the word hate, but you hate them? You You hate him? You said he was manipulative. You said he was untrustworthy. You said he was selfish. Honey, I would rather you use the word shady to describe me than all those words. Joy, why didn't you take that opportunity to actually explain how you felt about that lady's husband? No, you decided to deflect, pick out a word. We doing semantics, playing a game of semantics. I didn't say shady. So that gives Sherrell the thought that, oh, Erana is making up lies and saying things that aren't really true, because clearly Sherrell wasn't there at the time. And here's my biggest qualm with Sherrell. Sherrell, why are you arguing? Why are you showing up for your husband when, number one, you were not there? This was prior to you. Prior to you. You have no idea what took place. So you look the fool doing this, okay? I can't stand watching women argue over their man, defending their men like pit bulls and don't even know the facts. Their man is sitting in the back chilling, watching them fight like pit bulls. It's ridiculous. Sherrell, you look the fool. So Joy and Sherrell have this conversation. I guess they put a pin in how they feel about everything. Joy still feels the way she does, but now that she's been able to de-escalate the issue and point the finger back at Erana as opposed to Joy, she's okay, because she walked away. Girl, quiet as it's kept, the words that you used to describe her husband Black was way worse than just saying shady. But okay. Where Quick is having his ceremony, where he's the street that he grew up on. They call it Quick Silver Way. The mayor of Baltimore is there. It is a really great celebration. And of course, the perfect place to have this big argument. Not really. Hopefully you guys picked up on the sarcasm. Okay. Sherrell walks up to Erana. It's a group of them. She doesn't call out Erana specifically, but she says, I just don't appreciate people going back and telling people the wrong thing, putting words in other people's mouths and saying negative things about my husband. And Erana's like, she's talking to the group, but she looking at me. I don't know if she's talking to me or the group. Like, you, Erana, went, Erana's like, oh, okay, so you talking to me. Erana's so funny. You're telling me that Joy said my husband was shady, and she was like, yeah, because the things that your husband said, the things that she described is shady. So your husband come off as shady. She was like, you're not gonna say, I'm stopping right there. You're not gonna sit up here and talk about my husband. Man, she said your husband was untrustworthy. She said your husband was manipulative and selfish. Those are that you sum that up. That's the definition of shady. Let me read the definition of shady for you, because clearly you're projecting. And so they're all trying to like break up the fight and all this other stuff. And Joy was like, oh, I'm not gonna bring anything up. This is not the place. This is not the place. This is not the place to say anything, ma'am, because it'd have been 3 of us fighting. I don't like Joy. Not a big fan of hers. I'm gonna continue to watch. I feel like it's going to get worse. I feel like she's gonna continue to just sit there and not say anything when it was actually her words that started the thing, and Erana was just doing what reality TV people do anyway. The fact that Sherrell, you're getting mad because Erana summarized shady, but all the other things that Joy said you don't have a problem with. Girl, I know you fucking lying. Girl, you kidding? Like, this got to be a joke. Are you for real? Because this it can't be possible. If it is, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. So it's okay to call my husband selfish. I hate him. He's manipulative. But shady is where you draw the line.
Okay.
You know what? You get mad wherever you want to. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how to feel about nothing. So that's that on that. All right. So that's my perspective on Love and Marriage DC. You guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about the episode and my commentary. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.